Hi.
Hi,
What are you doing here? What is this?
I'm here to tempt you into playing a Genesis game because if you do it, it'll give me power to affect this world, and I'll say that you can save the ghost of your dead girlfriend or something.
Is it Splatterhouse 2? I hope so, because
Splatterhouse too.
that's the game that I put the box out for. I'm Eric,
Yep,
by the way. That's Joe. He's in the
yep.
internet again.
I'm in the internet again. You
Yeah.
say again like I ever left, like I left the internet at some point.
Yeah. We're all prisoners of this fucking nightmare.
Mm.
So yeah, this is Genesis or Genesisn't, where I play a Genesis game and then tell you if I like it or not. I've couched the show as if I'm telling you if it's good or not, but let's be real, 30 minutes really isn't enough to make hard determinations on that stuff. But
I mean, for a game
she
like
just got sucked
this,
into a demon anus.
I'm watching an Assassin's Creed Origins commercial right now, so
Oh. Anyway, so yeah, tonight it's. I mean, this is the last one before Halloween, actually.
yeah, this is our last
So this is the last
October.
spooky Genesis or Genesisn't until next year, unless I
That's right.
randomly want to play something.
Yeah, so this year we
Shit.
did what?
I have to see if I can find that before we end this tonight. Anyway,
We did Decap Attack. We did Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
We did. Well, what was the other one that we did? I'm gonna have to look.
I don't know. I did Decap Attack, which was the only one. Oh,
We've been-
Ghosts and Goblins and Ghouls.
Oh, we did Ghosts and Goblins. Yeah. Or Ghouls and Ghosts. Yes, Ghouls and Ghosts. the naming conventions of that series are not. They were not well thought out.
No.
So it goes from Ghosts and Goblins to Ghouls and Ghosts to Super Ghouls and Ghosts to Ultimate Ghosts and Goblins. It's just like, come on, come on.
So I'm playing as Jason. In
Yes,
this
you are
Friday the 13th game.
You are playing as Rick Taylor,
Uh-huh.
who is very clearly inspired by Jason Voorhees. So much so, in fact, that in the original game, in the first game, it looks a lot more like a hockey mask. In this game, it looks more like a skull. But it looks more like a skull in the U.S. version. In the Japanese version, it's smoother. It looks more like Vega's mask from Street Fighter, kind of. But in the original version,
I'm splattering these guys.
You are,
but that's not a house. That's just like a brick wall. So,
well, I'll explain that in a second here. But yeah, in the first game, it looks basically just like a hockey mask. Like he looks just like Jason Voorhees. And when they ported it to the TurboGrafx, the US version, they changed the mask to be red because they were worried about getting sued by Paramount, basically. So they changed them. The US TurboGrafx port he's got a red mask.
That motherfucker ran away.
They run away. Jack Red says hello. Hello, Jack. You've been around a lot this month. We're glad to have you.
Were they just having a meeting? What was that?
They were having a meeting of weird, melty monster things. So, yeah, what this first stage is the burned out remains of the original Splatterhouse. Yes. And so now you are trying to. So your girlfriend Jennifer was killed in the first game.
Oh shit. Ooh.
And he makes some noises when he takes a hit, doesn't he?
Got some Sylvester Stallone noises going on there.
Jack Red says in a few weeks it will be my birthday. Well, happy early birthday, Jack. Happy birthday. Here's a giant bile-spitting monster. So, yeah, in the first game, Jennifer dies. In fact, Rick kills Jennifer because she turns into a monster.
Stage 2. An elevator. Pretty scary. A secret
Beat 'em ups never have elevator stages.
Oh, yeah.
But in this, if you watch the opening, which I believe you did, it says that her spirit is still trapped in the house.
She gets sucked into a demon anus.
Yeah, a little bit. And the mask convinces you that that you can save her.
Or an anus with a bunch of demonic polyps in it, I guess, would be a more accurate term.
Yeah. And so this game is largely criticized for being style over substance, and like any person who's fair-minded about it, even someone who loves this game like I do, could not counter that argument in a way that wouldn't make you sound naive.
Not a lot going on here, even
really
compared,
biased.
especially compared to, say, like Streets of Rage or Final Fight or whatever.
Oh yeah, absolutely. This game is a lot more like Irem's Kung Fu or Vigilante.
Yes, yeah,
right?
that's a good. Or like.
Or Two Crude Dudes.
Right.
You know, this is not. This is and as a kid, I remember I had an issue of GamePro that had a couple of page spread about the TurboGrafx Splatterhouse, and it looked like it was like a Double Dragon, like a belt scrolling Double Dragon Final Fight, you know, Streets of Rage kind of thing.
Right.
And when I finally played it years and years later,
no
I was
Z-axis,
surprised
baby.
to find that there isn't. In Splatterhouse 3 there is.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I've played some of. I've played some of one of these, but
yeah. Jack Red says for a lot of people until recently, the Splatterhouse games were the only good Friday the 13th games. Yeah, I mean, I've heard people sort of say that kind of stuff. It's not, except for the character design, it really is nothing like Friday the 13th. And he also suggests that for a spooky stream, we consider Blood for PC classic first-person shooter.
okay, I don't think I've ever played
I don't
that.
know what Eric's got planned out for the rest of the month, but that's on GOG, I know, for like only $5, I think, $5 or $6. So. And I feel like somebody joined us. Join us.
I don't know about that.
There you go. How's it going, Kurt?
It is going. Can't feel my arms, but it's going.
Neither of your arms?
Yeah.
Is there a reason? Do you have a back injury of some sort?
I do not have a back injury.
Were you pumping too much iron?
I was pumping too much iron. That is, in fact, exactly what happened.
Okay.
I think I noted that I started going to Marion's personal trainer to try and actually get some exercise in, and this evening's session was a upper body quote blast unquote, which
And
I
you
knew I was
have
in
been
trouble as soon
blasted.
as he said that word, and I'm like, oh man, this is gonna be some bullshit. Told him up front, I'm old and I have been sedentary for a long time. You're not going to go bananas right off the bat. I'm not doing like 400 sit-ups or 80 push-ups or whatever. So you can just get over all that right now.
Yeah. Well, I'm
Have you ever
sorry
played a
for your
Splatterhouse
arms.
game, Kurt?
I have played the original Splatterhouse quite a lot on my TG16 way back in the day.
Ah.
Yeah, so
I
this
don't know if I've ever
game-
played any of the other ones. I
Well,
was
you have a
interested
16-bit shaped hole in your heart,
Yeah,
so
yeah. But there was that newer one that came out that I knew you played.
there
that
was.
I sort of intended to play at some point and did not get around to.
It's pretty cheap now, and the original trilogy is on the disc as like an unlockable.
Right.
So,
Yeah, that was part of why I was like, oh, I should pick that up because then I'll get all of it.
yeah,
All the things. I'll go from none of the things to all of the things.
all the things. Yeah.
Yeah.
But as I was saying, right as you joined, I think this game is criticized for being much style over substance, and that is accurate. But man, it has such style. Like creepy faces in the background of this. Like it looks really good. Like obviously all the money and probably skill, I guess, went to making this game look really, really good for a 16-bit game.
Got good music too.
Yeah, and the music is really
It's
good
very
too.
aesthetically on point, but
Yeah, it is.
there's
And since-
not a lot going on.
Yeah, gameplay wise, it's pretty straightforward. Just walk to the right and punch stuff. There is a slide
Sounds like
move that I'll.
Splatterhouse.
Yeah, it's basically exactly. It's a slightly more refined, I think, version of the original game. I like 2 the most.
Slightly more splattery.
Yeah, 2 is my favorite of the series. Jack
Can you
Red
do this
asks,
elevator again, really?
is there a horror movie you wish could be a video game? And my answer to that, I mean, it usually doesn't turn out that well, right? So
Yeah. I think the assumption is a good video game.
right.
So, presume that's a given.
I'm just trying to think of what horror movies lend themselves well to game mechanics. And I feel like the ones that lend themselves really well have already been, like Alien Isolation.
Yeah.
Is like, that's how you turn Alien into a video game.
Yeah.
No.
The Friday the 13th game that we were playing recently, it sort of does a decent job of that.
Yeah.
Which probably covers many slasher.
You know what?
Generally speaking,
if you
you
turned,
could have content packs with different.
if Telltale adapted The Stuff, and it was like a detective style, point and click, type of thing.
I would look into that.
Yep, that's my answer. The Stuff as a Phoenix Wright style investigation adventure game, but only if they can get Michael Moriarty to do the voice of Mo.
Yeah.
So, I
mean, we got Dead Rising.
Yeah, Dead Rising is
So
basically
they
an
did Dawn of the
adaptation of
Dead.
Dawn of the Dead. Yeah.
Right, and that's pretty good.
Yeah, that was pretty good. Usually, when it's the games that are more successful are when it's like a pastiche, like this game or Resident Evil. Although I would say that like Until Dawn was like too much of a pastiche, and like
Yes, right.
to the point where I was just like,
There was a little too
can you
much like elbowing in the ribs.
Right.
Eh?
I was like, you don't have to be like a slasher movie and a Saw movie and The Descent like all at once. You could just try to be one of those things.
Right, exactly. Yeah. But I think Joe came away with the impression from my write-up about that I didn't like it.
That you didn't like...
That I didn't like Until Dawn.
Oh, Until Dawn.
And it was more that I was writing all that stuff based on...
hot tip, you can't kill those things.
Yeah, I was just trying to get them together so I could jump over them at the same time. Because I'm having a real hard time telling where my hitbox is.
Rick's got a pretty decent size.
I mean, he's a big, bulky dude, but
yeah,
it's like sometimes I feel like the hitbox is like the whole walking animation. Especially when I'm trying to land
that's
jumps
actually
and
pretty
stuff.
close to. I think that's actually pretty close to accurate.
Just having a little bit of difficulty zeroing that in, but.
So this Freddy Krueger looking son of a bitch right here. Jack Red says he thinks Dead Rising is more like a spiritual successor to Zombies Ate My Neighbors, which I guess I can kind of see that, but it doesn't have all the reference points that Zombies Ate My Neighbors had. But in terms of like the ridiculous weapons and the like sort of unending hordes of enemies, I can see where you're coming from.
Can you look up some
Ate My
codes to
Neighbors.
check out some other levels?
I can look up some codes to check out some other levels.
But I will not.
but fuck you, buddy.
Let's enter a
Janice,
password.
go to hell.
First word, second word, third word, fourth word. Oh, there's like EFH, I do, EdK, aid.
Yep. So what stage? You were on stage 2.
Yeah, I got to the boss on 2 and then
Stage
ate it.
3, I think, is the Foul River, which is has one of the best boss battles.
Let's
so
go
let's just go right to stage 3. It's IDO, Gem, IAL, LDL.
Seems like it would be possible to figure out some of the passwords in this game.
Yeah, probably.
Just by trial and error. Man, I hate these fucking red, purple jumpy dudes.
Depends on whether they
screaming
actually mean
meanies?
anything or not.
See, this game is full of little touches like that. Like when the thing jumps backwards into the water, it gets eaten by like the evil fish.
Yeah.
You know,
Well,
like this game has
it's like-
a lot of that stuff and a lot of unique animations where like you get a weapon one time in one stage and they animated stuff for that, but you never see it again. You know, which is again sort of lavishing more sort of visual stuff on this. Also, this level is another one that looks like I think all the levels look pretty good in this game, but this one, the creepy forest with the river with the floating chunks of whatever in it and all that stuff, like, you know.
He missed his pond.
Like I think that bone that you were using in stage 2, I don't think you ever get a bone again. I'm trying to remember. I just played through this whole game like last night, so I should remember off the top of my head. But I now want to like sort of check myself on that, but I'm pretty sure.
Fuck these fucking purple guys.
So the thing about this game is it does sort of come down to memorization, right? Because there's no random enemy spawning in this game at all.
Yeah.
The enemies always spawn in the exact same spots in the exact same patterns. So it's one of those. But I don't think it's not on like a level of like, you know, Contra Shattered Soldier or, you know, anything like that where it's like you're doing choreography of the thumbs, you know. It's not quite to that extent.
There's a fish. Oh, come on.
Jack Red says, I wish you could buy games on consoles similar to buying on Steam or good old games. Closed ecosystems, man. Closed ecosystems. That's why games on PC are often a lot cheaper than they are on consoles, because there's no competition in the same way that there is on the PC.
And there's not a lot of
that's
competition
also
on PC either, really.
I don't know. I mean, Humble Bundle and Steam sales and GOG sales.
Well, no, I mean, there's a lot more than there is on consoles, but...
Speaking of which, isn't there supposed to be a Steam sale happening, like, very soon?
I don't know, November, maybe?
No, I thought I saw something leaked about they were going to do a Halloween sale. And then like, the regular fall sale.
Shut up.
They were going to do, like,
And then the like second fall sale, and then the Thanksgiving sale, the Christmas sale.
It's just always
Yeah,
a
there's
sale.
usually a
Boxing
Black
Day
Friday.
sale. Yeah,
I really,
12th
I
night
think,
sale.
I think when the first time Cuphead goes on sale, I'm going to buy it, but I've been hesitating because
Cuphead looks amazing.
it looks amazing, but my graphics card is not like quite up to snuff for it. I have more than enough RAM and more than enough processing power, but I'm worried that it's going to chug because I don't have a great graphics card.
All right, we want to check the next one.
You could do something about that.
What's the next level?
Do you know how expensive it is to upgrade a graphics card in a laptop?
It's
the
way
next
more
one-
expensive than it is worth it.
Yeah,
That is true. I didn't realize we were talking about your laptop, or didn't catch that. Yes,
I mean,
don't do that.
Yeah, but Eric's going to help me build a computer in February. So,
Well, there you go.
Next password is. Do you just want to go to level 4, or do you want to go to one of?
I don't care.
other-
Give me your favorite. We'll
Give
do your
him
favorite
a
one.
good level.
My favorite level.
Or just anything.
Let's do stage 7 because it looks really bizarre.
All right.
EFH, XOE, IAL, LDL.
My favorite kind of cholesterol.
You're gonna have cholesterol. You might as well go with LDL.
Yeah. Ah, shit.
Like this, I feel like it's not quite translating on the stream the way that it does when you're playing the game. Like the background in this stage is really...
It's pretty wild.
Yeah,
It's all like that waterfall effect in Shinobi.
Sonic. Oh, yeah.
Or Sonic, yeah. Genesis. The way that it...
Yeah.
Fuck, man. I guess I just have to punch these guys.
Well, some of them come high and some come low, so... That's again, this is one of those parts that you kind of have to memorize. Yeah, so I don't know. A lot of people say that they like the third game the most, I guess, in this series because it's it has that belt scrolling Double Dragon feel, but it's really the challenge is really stiff in the third installment. There's a time limit, and some of the enemies are really cheap, and it just I don't know. I mean, it's fun, but I like the second one the most for my part.
Trying to dodge these motherfuckers. Just this guy is so fucking big and lumbering. I feel like if I was like the guy from Contra, I would be having a lot more fun.
Well, if you would shoot things. He can also punch really fast. Like if you go ham on that button, he punches real fast.
Yeah, but you can't kick real fast. When they go low, it's hard to...
You can kick pretty fast.
Or
Your
maybe
friend
it's the
False Logic
transition
just started
between
watching.
the two? I don't know.
Yeah, the transition. But if you just like crouch and mash on the button.
Yeah, but like there's like a delay between.
Yeah,
you can't
moving
do.
Between.
You can turn around and pee though.
You can and then like there's one point in the game where that is a thing that you need to do to pick a shotgun up off the wall, and that's it. Jack Red says me saying this is the best one is like saying Golden Axe 2 on Genesis was the best, and clearly it wasn't. That's true. Golden Axe 2 on the Genesis clearly is not the best. Also, all the Golden Axe games except for the arcade sequel, they all kind of suck. So like that's Revenge of Death Adder in the arcade is good, and that's the only good Golden Axe game. That's the secret to Golden Axe.
Oh fuck.
He does correctly say Golden Axe 3 is terrible. Yeah, Golden Axe 3 is pretty bad. That's why it didn't actually get released in the US, except on the Sega Channel. Although I guess there are good games that, like Alien Soldier, only got released on the Sega Channel. So he says at least all 3 Shinobi games on the Genesis are great. Yeah, I like all 3 of the Shinobi Genesis games. I will agree with that.
I think you mentioned that when Eric played a previous Shinobi game.
I did. I think we should
Shinobi
play.
3?
We should. No, he played Revenge of Shinobi.
That's what
We should play Shinobi 3 at some point because I think Eric will find it a little bit more.
bullshit.
No, a little less bullshit.
All right, give me another stage. I can't do
That's
that
what I
one.
meant. Sorry.
Yeah, well, that's
less
like
bullshitty.
that stage is all memorization. So like every time I did it, I got a little bit further, but.
Let's go back a little bit actually to the house when you get into the actual house.
Okay.
So this is stage 5. EFH, WEI, RAG, ORD.
WEI? VEI maybe?
Maybe.
What was the last one?
This is W.
ORD.
ORD.
Okay.
Also, Mike Ailes has come to splatter the house as well.
I do love a splattered house.
Are there any stages that don't have these purple motherfuckers?
You were just in one, and you stopped playing it. So yeah, the influence of Evil Dead 2, I feel, weighs heavy on this game. With the severed hands that come after you, and momentarily you will see deer heads on the wall. That. So you're about to get your revenge on these purple motherfuckers, though, at least.
No, I got
with
killed
shotgun.
trying to get it because I got puked on. I fell for the trap.
Right into it.
Sorry, I'm a little late to the party, but that is quite a walk cycle.
What's that for our boy here?
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
there's
actually has
quite a
a
few
pretty
frames
smooth-
there.
Yeah, he's got a pretty smooth.
He has a lot of frames. It looks a little strange. He's got kind of a strut going on.
He does. He's walking with a purpose.
Like
he
Staying Alive could be playing while you're walking down the hallway.
Okay, I can't kill the ram's heads.
It makes his legs look super short.
Yeah, he's all torso.
False Logic says the angle is weird. I don't think it's. I disagree with that, but I actually quite like the way his walk cycle looks.
Yeah, it looks all right. I mean, he's supposed to be like a giant lumbering guy.
Right. Jack Red asked if we have seen the Ash vs. Evil Dead show, and I am actually remiss.
I watched the whole
love Evil
first
Dead.
season and most of the second one. I really liked the first season. There's a scene with a haunted butthole in the first season. That's like one of the I could not I would have been shocked to have seen that in one of the movies, and the fact that it was on a TV show was just like I couldn't believe what I was watching when that happened. But I didn't watch. I need to catch up, and I need to.
Yeah,
I think the third season's
started,
coming out.
So. Yeah, the third season's over. I think I didn't have stars when it started, and so I didn't watch it then, and then I kind of fell behind, and it's like inertia has carried me, even though like Evil Dead 2 is like legitimately one of my like 10 favorite movies of all time. So I should really get on that. But
when do I fight an octopus?
You fight an octopus in the last stage if you want to go there. Actually, you run away
for this one, Eric.
The controls are fine for what it is. The problem I have is that our boy here just has a giant hitbox, and I don't like Joe said at the beginning. This game requires a certain degree of memorization. Like,
yeah,
you learn where the enemies are going to come from and when they're going to come, and then you, once you figure that out, it's just about performing and getting through.
It looks very stiff to me.
I mean, it's a little bit, but they're not. I mean, they're not asking you to make Mario jumps for the most part. The thing that I really struggle with is that
in this game, in fact.
Yeah, there was a little bit of like some spike traps in that one level.
There are two spots where there's like considerable platforming.
But yeah, for the most part, the controls are fine for what it's asking of you. I don't love this. I don't love this, but it's okay. It's mostly about the aesthetic. Like, this isn't a game that you're gonna wanna master or anything, I don't think.
If you're of like a very specific persuasion, I would say maybe. But it defaults to the normal difficulty, which is the easiest difficulty. And then there's two difficulties above this, where you only get like on the hardest one, you get 2 hearts.
Yeah. The fact that there's no like
there are no
health pickups or anything is that's like really, because it makes it feel like if I take a couple of hits right at the beginning of the level, then I should just like fucking kill myself and start over again, which is not a great place to be in. Even if there was just like 1 per level and you knew where it was coming, so that. But it's really demotivating to take a hit early. But it's kind of hard to.
There are checkpoints.
They all,
like this stage is
every one that you get through, there's a checkpoint. I don't think it's unfair necessarily. It's just it's a little frustrating.
And there's always a checkpoint at the boss, which is pretty forgiving. That if you make it to the boss with extra lives, you get to start at the boss with full health. So.
But judging how far these guys can jump is also really because they don't all jump the same distance all the time.
Right.
I wish maybe there is some kind of tell and I'm missing it, but.
Oh man, you got that guy. I was gonna say, I feel like history's been repeating itself because you've been taking 3 hits before you get the shotgun every time, and then that one jumping guy has gotten you the last 2 or 3 times in a row. But no, you broke the cycle.
His jump in is pretty far. That time I baited it out just enough. Oh, come on. I walked into the goo.
Goo, man.
I mean, it's deer barf. It's pretty gross.
Is it deer barf or is it ectoplasm or acid or something? I don't know. Who the fuck knows? It's something bad.
Maybe the deer was eating some ghostly cedar trees earlier.
Seems at least possible.
That means it could be both.
Yeah.
Get out of here.
So there's a pretty great scene in this game with that involves a boat oar, which I feel like it would be good to play before you guys play Dead Island later, since I feel like when I played that game, a boat oar was like the only weapon I ever got my hands on. But I think it's in the middle of a stage, so you can't just you'd have to get to it. So.
Oh, you drop your gun if you get hit?
You drop your whatever
weapon you happen to be carrying.
Yeah.
I got an extra life.
You can do this again.
Yay.
I mean, if you want to just go to fighting the octopus after this and then call it an episode, we can do that. But you seem like you wanted to see the octopus since it's on the box art.
I like that the box art has blue splatters all over it, despite how totally inappropriate that is.
Yeah.
Maybe they thought red was going too far or something.
Well, the title is like a red splatter. But also, fun fact about this game: this is the only M-rated game on the Wii Virtual Console.
I don't know why that didn't kill that guy.
That is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What about Devil's Crush? No?
Nope, teen. Also, I just found out yesterday that there are only 11 games on the original DS that have M ratings. Only 11.
How many of them have been played on the stream in the last month?
One. Touch the Dead.
That's a
You
bad.
did.
That's a bad video game.
There was a minute where people seemed like they thought it was a good idea to like insert stylus tapping
these
for
fucking
like a
hands
light
jump.
gun, and that's some bullshit.
Maybe the other ones did too, and I just didn't live long enough to get them.
No, I think only some of them jump. Yeah, but it's like 999 and what was the Shin Megami Tensei Strange Journey?
Yeah, that's the first person one.
Yeah, those are both
SMT.
Yeah, those are both
I think
M-rated.
the Devil Survivor games are T. I think.
Which one?
Devil Survivor games.
I think only Strange.
T.
Yeah, I think only Strange Journey is M.
What is that port of Resident Evil?
That's one of them.
Deadly Silence? I believe?
Deadly Silence. That's a really good port, actually. If you want to play original ass Resident Evil, it's either the first director's cut or the DS version. Is like absolutely the way to go.
It was weird to play that on a handheld, though. Like you want to get the immersive experience for a horror game.
Yeah, I guess. I don't know, but it has some first-person segments where you tap the screen to knife a giant snake. So.
Oh well, that does sound not too bad actually.
And then like the two Dimension games are M-rated.
Mm-hmm. I want to check. I want to do one of those at some point.
They're both on Steam, I think, or something.
Oh, are they?
I think they're both on Steam. Yeah.
Okay,
So.
well that's some Splatterhouse, or I don't know. You want to check out the how fast
You
it
wanna
kind of gets
see
to
the
is the octopus
octopus
right at the beginning of the level?
The octopus is right at the beginning.
Okay, well let's do the octopus.
I want to see
one,
the octopus.
and we'll get out of here.
Okay. All right. It's the last stage, so it's EDK.
Hang on a second. If you pick
Evil
end
Dead Killer.
game, you have to listen to the sad music before you can
Right.
go back to the password select.
Yep.
All right, what is it?
EDK.
EDK.
VEI.
They.
IAL.
Garlic.
LDL.
Oh, it's like okay. There's supposed to be like mystic words.
Yeah, I think they're supposed to be. Klaatu.
The inspiration
Barada.
for Half-Life 2 episode 1.
Oh, I'm sorry. The elevator thing happens first.
Great.
I apologize. Yeah, that's my fault.
Right at the beginning after the.
We're not going to see the
stuff that's
octopus
before
tonight,
it.
sorry.
Well, only these two enemies come, and the ceiling tiles fall in a pretty easily determinable pattern. So, and you just have to keep punching these.
I don't know
guys.
if you guys remember, but when Half-Life 2 Episode 1 came out, there was an infamous elevator scene where you had to use the gravity gun to push debris back to keep yourself and Alex alive. And Valve had to rebalance that several times because there were a ton of... Because that was right around the time that they were like tracking people's progress in games in Steam. And like there was like a very significant portion of the audience that just couldn't do it for whatever reason. It was like Valve's whole design is that they don't put glowing arrows on the screen. Like they try to
Draw your attention to whatever.
right. They want you to
Most
figure
important.
it out by environmental clues or endemic storytelling or whatever. But fuck, man.
Half-Life 1.
But for whatever reason, like they tried a million different things and couldn't could not get people to just look up and use the gravity gun the way they wanted there. So eventually they had Alex like tell you what to do or something, and they like made the difficulty much easier.
I wonder when I played that.
Oh come on! that one shouldn't have hit me. Bullshit.
With the orange box, probably.
Yeah,
maybe?
but like, had the patch by then? Because
I don't know. Did that come out on PC? No, Orange Box was Half-Life 2 Episode 2. So it would have been rebalanced by
I thought it was.
but it came out with Portal and Half-Life 2 Episode 2, so it would have been after Half-Life Episode 1. It would have been.
Oh, that was Episode 1.
in.
Okay, I gotcha.
You see what I'm saying?
Half-Life 1 had a room where the entire ceiling collapses down on you, and it's kind of like a Tetris puzzle or something like that, and you just have to
outside, now
make
inside.
sure
There we
that
go. Oh, you fucker!
you
Dry
find out what the
bones,
correct order
motherfucker.
of ceiling blocks is and not get smushed, and that was also pretty dumb.
I'm not gonna make it to the octopus. I'm sorry to say.
Jonathan thinks you should Game Genie this.
Do I just
yourself
type in
infinite health?
octopus? Now I go out, right?
Now you go out. Once the elevator
I made it,
stops,
okay.
yeah,
No, I meant I was trying to remember the pattern. I should have meant I was like accessing deep memory banks for that Half-Life anecdote, and I was not storing the new information that I needed to get through that. That's an octopus.
IQD.
What? All right, well, there's the octopus. I'm a little disappointed. It doesn't really look like it's not as cool as the one in the box art.
Shocking.
Doesn't have angry eyebrows the way the one in the box art does.
Yeah, there's something really unsettling about an octopus with eyebrows. Duck, jump, duck, jump.
So here's the
Okay.
hot tip on
Oh,
how you
shit,
deal
all
with
in
this
your mind.
thing.
Do I have to push those back at him?
You punch them out of the air, and then you pick them up and throw them back
Let's
at
see.
him.
I thought he would approach the boat at some point.
Nope.
Ooh. All right, well, that's Splatterhouse. I saw the octopus. Here he
You did.
comes. He's coming again.
I gotta tell you, I
It's
don't
the
know if that
episode
was worth
tag.
it.
Nah, I don't think it was
I
worth it
saw the
either.
expert. Not the octopus.
So this octopus Genesisn't as good as the one in the box art. This game is okay. I'm not loving it. I would, if I had some kind of escape maneuver, just even like something that would give me some frames of invincibility, I would enjoy it a lot more. I guess it would maybe negate the challenge a little bit too much, but it's definitely, like Joe said, something that rewards you for sort of memorizing the patterns that the enemies come out at you, and
It's an old school action game.
yeah, I mean it looks really cool, and I like the music, and it's all right. It's a solid game. It's not maybe to my taste, but it is a well-made one of the things that it is.
We're back to Genesis.
Yeah, it's just not.
Genesis
it's,
present.
It's really just the size of this dude that really even if the screen was was just zoomed out like 10% or something, but I feel like very uncomfortable and claustrophobic because of how tight it is. It's like playing a Game Gear game. It's not that bad. But anyway, that's Splatterhouse 2. It's pretty good. It has a really nice look to it. But probably not going to go back to that one. Anyway, we'll be back next week with something else.
Something. Yeah.
Not horror themed.
Probably not.
No, it'll be November. Something.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
probably something
themed
random
or
next
something.
week.
Turkey
Because I haven't done that in a while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows? Could be anything next week.
Could be anything.
But
Except something we've already done.
probably,
'cause
yeah,
that would
probably
be
not
silly.
that. Anyway, good night. Goodbye.
Good night.
Bye.